for the spoiler.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yo, welcome back. It's your boys.
Yeah, Game TV and Fist Cake, Constant Complete podcast. We're gonna talk about Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, and we're
Ending, really, specifically
the ending and like the parts leading up to the ending and a bunch of stuff.
So,
all kinds of shit.
Right off the gate, I want to ask you, Fist Cake, was it apparent to you that you needed to die at the end?
Well, in hindsight, I can see that, but yeah, no, I did not. I kept fighting. Like I would not stop.
I fought for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I think about the same for me too.
I was so fucking angry.
He made me look it up to make sure that he wasn't wasting his time. He was.
He was the entire time.
You had to sacrifice. Senua's sacrifice. You had to sacrifice yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't realize that.
They did not. Oh God. That whole last boss fight, they just fucking dropped the ball when it came to, like, here's what
I mean, they try to give you, like, little hints, but you play the whole game with voices in your head telling you to do things that you're not supposed to be doing. So at the very end, they all of a sudden just think you're going to listen to the voices in your head now. Now you're going to listen to them? Yeah, just let it all go, Senua.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sure that's what they were counting on, though. I think that's, like, part of the whole dealing with psychosis thing. Mm-hmm. It's, like, just like, yeah, you got to take your loss, kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I was really confused because, like, the previous two fights I had were giant-ass fucking fights that, like, lasted a lot longer than I wanted them to because they weren't, like, super interesting. They just put a bunch of guys against you. That was pretty much.
Real question. How many repeats of the music did you get through for each fight?
Oh, I don't remember.
Because you can hear when the song ends and then it kind of fades back in again.
I did not notice that at all.
Oh yeah, we went through 3, I think, iterations of the song per fight, and then the last one it just kept going and going and going and going and going.
But we'll back up a little bit. So last time we left off, you were at the part where you just went down, like you dropped the head.
No, he was just before the tree, right before you do all the trials.
Okay, yeah. Dude, how did you like the trials? Because I thought some of them, like the scary one was good, and then some of the other ones, like 2 of them were like, this is fucking dragging. Like, it hurts the pacing a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I did like the one where you're in the dark and you can't see anything, and then Dylan's trying to guide you through it.
That was pretty cool. Yeah, that was cool.
Cool one. I enjoyed the one where the fire creature's chasing you throughout the maze or whatever.
That one was okay.
Yeah, that one was okay. It seemed like they made it, like they wanted you to have kind of a scary moment, and they made all of the points where you have to find the runes like really easy. They're just right in your path.
Yeah, you just have to run around and just follow the giant blue light.
Don't let him see you.
Yeah, oh God, he sees you. Oh God, you're gonna suddenly burn.
I actually just uploaded our recording of that part of the game.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's going live right now, actually, probably.
Remind me about the other ones because I feel like I probably didn't enjoy them that much if I don't remember them, but those 2 are the ones that stuck out to my head.
The one where you have you're like in a dungeon and you have to build the bridge with your mind by finding a high vantage point.
That wasn't one of those. That was when you finally get past the part. Oh, well, I don't know. Did they have that in multiple places?
I might be thinking about just that last one.
Yeah, the last bit is where you have to build it with your mind.
Yeah, and you have that battle like on the bridge above a big cavern.
Yeah, that's the fight I was talking about where you had to kill 100 people. Then the next fight you kill 100 people. Like, oh no, you're not supposed to win. You're supposed to die this time.
Yeah, so that was that one. I thought that was pretty cool. One thing that I wanted to mention to you, how many of the lodestones did you find?
I did not find them all. I don't remember how many I found, but I did. I'd like, of course, I Wikipedia'd everything after I beat the game. Like, what the fuck? Okay.
Yeah, so you know about the extended ending that happens if you find them all.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. Well, we watched it because we didn't know what part of the extended ending it was, and so we were trying to figure it out. We're like, which part did we miss? I don't think we missed anything, and we kept watching the like, oh, this is the extended 100% complete ending, and it was all looking the same. Like the last bit is all the same. We're like, what changed? Turns out Druth tells you he sums up his little arc right as you go through the gate, and you have like a quick conversation with him, and then everything else is the same. That's the only thing that changes.
Yeah, it just changes the way you see your father already. I mean, you're already seeing him differently.
Yeah,
because
but then he kind of I guess confirms that shit. I don't know.
No, what happens is that Druth goes and explains that like he wasn't like a great hero at all. He was just a coward who tried to sell out his family so he could live because he saw somebody in a black hood do the same thing, and he said that guy came from Senua's village, basically pointed fingers saying that like basically the guy looked like her dad who did that.
Yeah. Zintel or whatever? Or
Zintel? Yeah, I think it's Zindale or Zdale. Yeah. Symbol.
Zimble. There it is.
No idea.
Yeah. And then you have the whole scene where she finally sees. I don't remember if that was because of that or if we saw that before, where she sees her mother on the cross or being burned at the stake. Okay, that's part of the storyline. Yeah. But I really like how the game's like psychological portion of the story, I guess the story kind of moves forward. It's really cool to kind of see everything unveil in front of her, and they finally, because they're like giving like separate versions of everything being twisted by her own understanding of stuff as you go through, and then it finally just like it all clears up, and here's the truth. Here's actually what happened, and this is something she's been trying to find out the whole game. So it was pretty satisfying.
Yeah, it was really nice. I was kind of confused because not confused. I was kind of expecting like the entire time she was like actually killing like other villages on the way to this place or something.
That thought also crossed my mind.
Yeah, like where she was actually just killing like probably like children and normal people when she going like a murderous rampage. But
that would have been crazy.
No, she just I basically I guess never did anything because I don't even know where she ended up at the end of it. You're like in some abandoned house or something.
Yeah. You're like in a ship.
It's really interesting.
Or something like that. Yeah,
like a shipwrecked ship.
Yeah, in the behind the scenes, they were talking about how Senua was actually they had found like the name of some older forgotten god, Nordic goddess called Senua, and she was supposed to be like a warrior person who like led a bunch of people, and so they based her the character off of that person, and they only recently found evidence of this person existing like a couple of years ago or something. It was fairly recent. So it's kind of cool that they kind of put that into the game. And the way it ends, especially looking at, if you watch the behind the scenes, they talk about what they initially wanted the game to be, which is nothing like what the game is right now. I have a feeling that if they were to make a sequel, she would then, with her newfound capability to manage her schizophrenia and other issues, she might come forth and lead her Pictish warriors to push out the Northmen.
I don't think.
Yeah, because like, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say I don't think they're going to continue with her.
That's
I think that's a one and done.
Maybe, I don't know. Like she literally said, "Hey, come with me. I got more adventures to tell you."
True.
She did invite us.
She did. Yeah, she like directly looked at you in the camera and said, "Hey, tag along. There's more shit to do. We got more fucking Vikings to kill. Come on."
Also, what do you think of that like crazy weird thing where like hell like had killed her, but then didn't kill her, and she is hell, and
she's in hell, or basically
Hella or whatever?
Yeah, that's why I was really confused. Like I just kind of sat there and thought about it for like 5 minutes. I'm like, what the? So is she like? Clearly, she's alive.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just wondering what the whole thing was with her turning into Hela and then, or Hela becoming her or not. Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know what happened with that. I don't know what they were trying to say. Oh, maybe it's supposed to symbolize like her, like defeating her demons, like coming out of her own personal hell.
Yeah, I think it's like her basically accepting his death because like when she finally gave up everything because she said like when she was after you get beaten down and then she like basically stands up to Hell. She says like either you give me my boyfriend back or just kill me because either way I have nothing left and everything's over.
Yeah.
And then that's when you hear him talk to her and she gets stabbed in the heart and all that fun stuff. And then turns out she was alive the entire time.
Yeah. Basically, like she was killing that version of herself.
Yeah, I think she was basically just surrendering to the fact that she can't change that. She can't bring him back at all. So.
Yeah. It was kind of a, like, honestly, like pretty poetic ending.
Yeah.
Which I thought was pretty nice. What did you think of that big fight in like actual hell?
Yeah.
Like
the giant fight, yeah,
like the big giant fight where it's all like you're like in lava or some shit or blood.
Yeah, it's blood. Yeah, you're in the sea of corpses or whatever, and you're just fighting your way up to
that shit was
the
pretty
tippy
cool.
top. Yeah, no, that was really exciting. It's one of those things though where like the fighting wasn't. It got boring after a while. Like I was like, okay, I'm fighting like the same 5 groups of people. The only difference is you just keep throwing more of them at me. That's literally the only difference.
And different combinations. And
Yeah.
And granted, like it keeps you like inside the game, like you're in there trying to focus and make sure you're not getting, hit in the back of the head or something. But it's like, okay, are we done now? Can I just go?
In a way, though, I like at least in that part, because obviously not knowing that later on, basically the same thing happens again in a way. But in that part, I felt like it was kind of cool that they all of a sudden, have a larger amount of people, and they're throwing a bunch at you, and you're able to utilize all the strategies that you've had before to then handle like this crazy onslaught that's happening. And that was the part of the game that article that I read a while back that was saying he wasn't even sure like the I guess the stress was getting to him in a way where he wasn't even sure if he could like survive, just because of the sheer amount. But my favorite battle combat part, because again, those who are watching, I didn't play the game, I just watched it. We have a full stream of it that is being uploaded to YouTube as we speak. So, but my favorite part was when they brought back all the bosses and had you fight through the bosses.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's pretty cool. At the very end, the boss rush battle.
Yeah, they kept bringing back that fucking the wind dude, the Raven Crow man.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that guy was. And then like suddenly there's 2 of them. Like, oh, I already had a hard enough problem with one. So why is there? Oh yeah, just go ahead and give me 2. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it was funny too.
So be honest, how many times did you die at the end?
At the end,
mm-hmm.
One time we were supposed to die.
Okay, yeah, me as well.
After I died like 1,000 times to the Raven guy, I haven't really died after that. I think I was pretty close a few times because like they would knock me down like right in front of them, and I was like, oh god, they're gonna stab me in the back of my head. No, or whatever. But I managed to button mash out of there just in time.
Yeah, that happened a lot too. Yeah. Honestly, that last battle, it was like the very last battle. It was just like kind of rinse and repeat. Like Matt was like, honestly, I could have gone forever.
Yeah, I could have. Yeah, I could have kept going.
Because our initial idea, my idea was like maybe you have to kill them all like in quick succession before you end up getting stuttered by Hela or whatever. But no, that's not the case. You just die.
And you just you got to keep going until you can't go no more.
Yeah. Which turns
out I really
never.
wish that they would have upped the difficulty or made it impossible for you to survive. Because they had like 14 or 15 enemies on screen, right? And I was just like, I was fine. I could have kept going.
Well, they made you super powerful against them too. You were doing a lot more damage each hit, so you were just like slicing through them. And so like you would get almost through the entire 14 and then get stuttered, and then one of the guys would hit you, and then more would just appear, and then you'd lose all your fucking mirror shit. Yeah.
But yeah, I just wish they would have made that more clear.
The other thing that I wanted to talk about that was kind of a problem that we had, there were multiple scenes during the trial portion of the trials portion of the game where you would be they were playing with the whole darkness mechanic, and you have to run from light to light.
Yeah, where you're like in the dungeon or whatever with Fenrir.
That wasn't in the trials.
Was that after or
that was after?
That was after. Okay, so it was after the trials. That part was really cool. Like the idea of it, and like I'm not sure if you died from any of it. Did you die from any of that?
No, I did not. I thought I would, but I did not.
Well,
I was so close a few times. Like, oh god.
Yeah, we ended up dying a couple of times.
Yeah, I died like 5 or 6 times, maybe more.
Yeah, and because
just because I couldn't.
Hold on. Wait.
No.
Hold on. What? Well, repeat that part. You died how many times?
Like 5 or 6.
Just to the darkness.
Just to the darkness, though.
Oh, okay. Just the thing you can't fight. You just have to run fast.
Yeah. Okay. So what happened was there was a portion where you're climbing through this water hole, and the game clipped and wouldn't let us crawl past a certain point in the water.
We couldn't crawl past a certain point in the water.
It just stopped you, and we died 3 times there.
Yeah. Oh, well then that's understandable though. I guess.
It was pretty shitty. And then another time we died because there was a part where you have to open up a gate and then run through the darkness and light a torch, but you have to run under a waterfall. Yeah. And we died, I think, twice figuring out the fact that you had to actually come back around and light the torch separately and then do it.
Oh yeah, no, I'll give you credit for that one because after I was running behind on time anyways, and I was trying to beat the game. I just looked up like a no spoiler puzzle guide. After I couldn't find the third rune. I was looking for the third rune in that dungeon for like 15-20 minutes. I was like, fuck, I was supposed to be done with this like a half hour ago. I'm just gonna look the shit up, and then I found I only had like 2 puzzles left from the entire game. Anyways, I was like, oh, okay,
yeah.
But yeah, I can see that one being tricky if you didn't realize like you're supposed to go to
on a whole other part of the area and then come back through the back and shit through a side hole.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of cool though. You run up on it and you knock down the little gate thing and fall on it all like cool in this like light circle. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's nice. Yeah. Oh, hey, Evie, thanks for paying attention to the last half hour of the show. Way to go. You're a hero.
Yeah. So I mean, from a concept kind of standpoint, I did like the whole darkness system. I thought it was kind of cool. It made a lot of the parts that would have normally been just running around a lot more stressful in like a good way. I just really think that portion in that the little crawly water hole part where your light goes out because it slightly goes under or whatever, and then you just have to crawl and get out as fast as possible. That was absolutely frustrating because when you die, it's like really loud. It's just like she's like screaming and there's all these sounds, and it happened 3 times in a row. I was like, fucking hell. Like, it's not a good experience.
Yeah, I was already like kind of like irritating on the ears when you're just running through. It's like, oh god. It's like, oh Jesus, stop! Everybody, stop yelling.
Yeah.
But I mean, then they did a pretty good job of, I guess, making psychosis seem annoying.
Yeah.
I mean, overall, I think the game is definitely like an 8 or 9 out of 10. I really like story-based games.
Yeah, it was a really satisfying story, and I do like how when she became more like when she became close to letting go, she started hearing her mother's voice in her head, which is the voice that was I believe was talking to you in the last fight to tell you to let go. It's her mother's voice. So that was pretty cool.
Oh,
and the other voices leave her for a short bit, but then come back at the very end.
Yeah.
Because like, okay, we're gonna let you go or whatever. Because you had that whole moment where they're like, no, turn back when you're in the hallway and you're like killing them or removing them from yourself. And they try to convince you that someone else is like controlling you to make you do it because they want to keep themselves alive. It was a cool little dichotomy. But then they made sure to have that scene at the end where obviously they're not gone forever, that they're always going to be there as a way to say like, because some people were worried that they were going to go through the whole route where psychosis or mental problems were something that could just be fixed. And
but no,
they didn't.
You just got to deal with it.
And they didn't. And really, she just got better at managing her situation and kind of keeping a hold of herself. So that was kind of a more realistic way to end it, which I thought was nice.
I did think the part where they mentioned the part where like she can recognize patterns and stuff easier than any other warrior makes her like a little bit better at being aware than other people.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes that whole point like of her like supposed to be in a part of a story about where she's supposed to be like a god of warriors or something.
Yeah.
makes it a lot cooler. Like, oh yeah, she just had to deal with a bunch of shit to get that power, so no big deal.
Yeah.
just the ever looming darkness.
Yeah, when you get the chance, you should definitely look up that, or we can send a link to the behind the scenes of Senua Sacrifice. I think it's like over an hour, but it's basically just all
2 hours and a half.
Oh, it's 2.5 hours. Okay,
Jesus.
but it's all the
on
developer
the game
diaries.
Itself.
Yeah, it's all just the developer diaries, but it's really interesting because they start out, they wanted to make an open worlds story-based game. So just think of what you got and think of open worlds story-based game.
That had been too long.
It's honestly, I really think the entire idea was completely different.
Yeah.
When they started out.
I feel like the game would have been better as a movie, kind of. I feel like it have been stronger in some areas as a movie because, again, like later on, you got tired of the puzzles like after the first 2 trials where you're just supposed to unlock the door to Hell's dungeon or whatever.
Yeah, it became
and I got
routine.
bored with the combat. Yeah, and I got bored with the combat like after you unlocked the last guy and all they did was keep throwing more numbers at you. It's like, okay, I get it.
Yeah, I think
block,
Matt
dodge, block.
stayed a bit interested in the comment only because he started to try to do like crazy shit. That's really what it was. He was like, okay, I already know how to beat him normally, but let's just see if this works.
Yeah.
And that's basically what it was. Like, okay, how can I just push it to the limit? Because otherwise, like if you just rinse and repeat the same strategies, which you absolutely could have, then it does become kind of one of those things where, there are things that just work.
Yeah, well, I'm not the best video gamer in the world to begin with, so basically each time I was fighting people, it was always like, oh shit, oh fuck, oh god, don't hit me, oh geez, please don't, oh fuck.
Yeah.
But it just kept going on for longer and longer, and my voice was just getting tired because I couldn't. I kept saying, "Oh shit! Oh fuck! Please stop stabbing me in the back of my head."
Yeah. I really do feel like that they could have added a bit more in variety than they did. They had good amount of variety for maybe 3/4 of the game, but then they kind of fell a little bit short, which I feel like they tried to pad it out with the 2 kind of like the 3 kind of or 4 arena fights. Where they just brought everyone back.
Yeah. It's like a greatest hits.
Yeah. Because they had that one where you were in the fiery, bloody hell, and then they had like the one where you're fighting all the guys again, and then you had the one where you fought the bosses again, and then the last one where you're supposed to die. Although they didn't have any of the bosses in that one, they just had a bunch of regular guys. I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like they could have not done the one at the bridge. I feel like that could have been out of there. If they already planned to do the giant fight with all the 300 people at the very end, I feel like the entire fight was unnecessary. I feel like oh, it's only 6.5 hours. We got to get another half hour, and what do we do? Throw more people. Oh God!
Did you do the For Honor thing with the guys on the bridge?
I tried to. I knocked a few of them off, but at some point, like the berserkers kept running around, and then the regular guys kept like doing like little sneaky pokes every time. Like I didn't pay attention for like a half a second. Like behind you, like oh shit!
I don't know how Matt did it, and I'll try to find. I'm not even sure if the episode is actually ready to be uploaded yet for that part, but I'll try to find it because I think Matt, you killed all the guys on that bridge in like 45 seconds. It just lined up. Jesus. Everyone just lined up, and you just kicked them all to their doom. It was hilarious. It was honestly one of the most enjoyable things.
Yeah, I was actually pretty good at the combat in that game.
Okay.
It was pretty great. You got to see it.
Yeah, send me a clip of the video and we'll watch it.
Yeah,
learn some mad strats.
So just like last, like, okay, what'd you think of the game overall? Like number system or what have you? Opinions.
I would say buy it. It's only $30.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's a genuinely interesting game. You'll get your money worth. And yeah, I'd say go get it. Like my complaints, it's just the fact that they just try to stretch out a game that probably could have not been so long. If I changed my difficulty in the battle from auto to like maybe easy or something, they probably would have gave you like less enemies. I'm not for sure, but
that's true.
So
yeah,
if you like good stories, get the game.
Yeah,
if you like okay gameplay, get the game.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it. Yeah, no, I generally enjoy it. Good sound, good everything.
Yeah,
I say
the sound design was top notch.
Get that
fucking
motherfucker.
much. All right, I think we'll call it here. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. For those who did, to listen to us talk about Hellblade.
You did. What did you guys? I mean, Matt said it was 8 out of 10. What did you think, Matt? Spence?
Well, because I didn't actually do the gameplay portion of it, I thought it was like close to like it was amazing. Like because the story was.
You're basically watching it as a movie, so it's probably 10 out of 10.
And some of the oh wait, I think I still have it written down. Some of the puzzle stuff was pretty interesting from an outsider perspective.
Oh yeah, because Spencer was looking up all the ruins, what they actually meant.
When you look at the lodestone thing, I looked up what it actually meant, and it means seek Hela's truth in mirror, gods betray us, unmask fear.
Oh.
Yeah, so they pretty much spell out the end of the game.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
If you took the time to transcribe it, which I did.
If you speak Norse or whatever it is.
Well, because I had looked up a bunch of stuff about the Elder Futhark and all that before, because I was at one point I wanted to make a card game based on the runes, but so I did much research. Cool. But yeah, so seek Hela's truth in mirror, gods betray us, unmask fear. Pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's pretty nifty. Little nice Easter eggs.
Yeah, but I basically agree with everything you guys were saying. It's a great game. 8 to 9 out of 10. You should buy it, experience it. I always describe it as an experience.
Yeah, it's definitely and it's $30 for 8 hours. I mean, movies are going for $10 to $12 for 2 hours. So
yeah,
about a fair price.
Yeah. But cool.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for hanging out, like I said, and for sticking with us till the end. We'll talk to you guys next time.
See you guys.
Peace.